recording now too, just to let you know. Okay.
Where is my phone?
I just sent Christina an email. So hopefully, or a text message, not an email, text message. Make sure.
Where you going? Go find my book bag.
Hey, Christina. How you doing? I can't hear you. You might have to unmute yourself.
Oh, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Good. You're both here. Perfect. So welcome. I know, Christina, you have the tree issue. And Billy, you were there for half of it, and I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page with charting. So that was my main objective. And also, Christina, I'm taping this just to let you know. I have to, like, by privacy, let you know that I'm taping this. So if we need to go back and look at anything, we can do so.
Okay.
I sent out about an hour or so ago competencies. So in your emails, you should have the competencies the students are required to do for the course. So did you both receive them?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to make this clear to both of you. You're only to do half of these. So for example, at ABG, it says 4. You only need to do half because they go to another rotation, the other half. And it's really important to have grades from 2 different instructors. Okay. So let's say, Christina, you do one, and then who you're partnered with does another one. And so you have your 2. You still can continue to do the skill. You just don't have to grade it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And it's a lot. And sometimes if you cannot do something that's on the skills list, like at least half of them, you can take the students somewhere else and simulate it. Okay. So you can watch their technique and you can still grade them. Okay. So sometimes they get really stressed out because they're not getting them, and they'll kind of want to kind of take charge and tell you what to do, but you guys don't let them do that. So like, for example, like the high flow nasal cannula, you can take them somewhere and have them set it up, but they're not putting it on a patient. You can actually have one of the other students be their patient if you want it. Okay. So just kind of be aware of that. Do you have any questions on the skills?
Now, what does the pages mean?
That is, if I gave you this whole booklet, it would be 45 pages in length. So I don't know if I sent you the entirety. There's so much that I've done and I haven't done. I can send you the entire booklet, but don't print it out because it's 45 pages. That's just your reference point to go to 45 for weaning, and you actually can look at the skills before you give it to them. But
Okay.
what I'm going to show you in the next, hopefully I can get this to you. I'm going to try and share. I'm going to try and share. Is it this one? I'm going to turn this computer. I have two screens, so I'm trying to turn stuff off. Nope. Of course, I practiced this and it was fine, and now I'm not going to be able to do it. Nope. There you go. Can you guys see Evalue?
Yes.
Yeah.
On your screen? So all of these competencies I just showed you on this sheet is in Evalue. So both of you have gotten in and you can get into this site, correct?
Correct.
Yes, I signed up
Okay,
for it.
so this is a little bit more, like yours is a little bit more basic. This is more like the administrative model because I can do more stuff. But if you go to the home button when you're doing whatever you're gonna do, and I gotta log back in. Hopefully it'll come back up. Always start at your home button. Just always start at home. And what you're gonna see is you're gonna see this here. The students have to clock in and clock out. So I know sometimes you might have a code or something interesting and they forget to do it. And I know you have to, I guess you have to badge in and badge out for the computers. So if you're a little bit running late, you know, make sure that they can clock in and clock out and just send me a text that they were late. They're supposed to send me that they're there by a picture if that happens, but sometimes they don't. But you do not have to clock in and clock out, but the students have to clock in and clock out, okay? So let's say you signed in, did your password, you came to Evalue, you're under tasks right here, you have to initiate ad hoc. So once you initiate ad hoc, you're gonna have all this stuff that comes up. So this is your evaluation. So let's say we're gonna do an ABG, because an ABG is on here that you have to do. You go to ABG sampling and you click it, okay? Then you're gonna have to choose the student you have. Now, there's a lot of students here now. You have to choose the student that you have. I'm going to choose this person, okay? The course that you're currently going to be teaching is Respiratory 203. So then what you're going to do is you're going to click down here, choose 203, and then go to the site that you're at. You're going to click this down button, and it doesn't have, like, it might be for you, Christina, but where are you at, right, Billy? Where are you? So click for all sites. Then click this, and it'll have a whole host of sites that you can choose from. So, of course, University of Maryland, Upper Chesapeake, Billy, you would do that. And then just make sure you read everything before you click it. Okay? So I'm just going to pick Franklin Square because I'm going to delete this. There's a time frame. Respiratory 203 fall, you have to click that. Okay? And I'm going to push next. So now you're going to be testing those. All right? Here's the evaluation. Now, Billy, you had said, what is the page number? Well, it would have been page 3, but here it is here. It's all here like this. You just click, read, and click. But I'm going to go up here real quick. 0, 0, half a point, 1 point, 1.5, 2, 2.5, so forth and so on. Here's the expectations. Exceeds is number 4. Expected is number 3. Below is number 2. Unacceptable 1. 0 failing. Now you're like, but Pat, you have half points. Well, a lot of the clinical instructors a couple years ago said sometimes they're not at the exceeds level, but they're like doing really good. It's higher than expected. So you have to use your common sense and choose the half point. Okay. So this tells you the grading, the scoring criteria and the grading system. All right. They must get at least a 75% or better on this evaluation in order for them to be successful. So if they don't do something here and it's not that big of a deal, like verify the physician's orders, you probably are going to do all that before you even go in. So you're going to put either a 4. If it has nothing to do with anything, you're going to put NA. It does not affect their grade. So of course they're going to check the chart. They're going to review the order. They're going to hopefully go in and explain, say, hi, my name is Pat, I'm with respiratory therapy. I'm going to do this with you. Let's say that they didn't do that. Let's say you had to prompt them. Then it's a 3.5 or a 3. Okay. They wash their hands. Of course they're going to do that. If not, if it's a prompt them, then you give them a lesser grade, and so forth and so on. See, gathers unnecessary equipment. Okay, they obviously did that. But if you want to put 3, you can give them 3 and 3.5. So you guys understand what I'm saying here, right? So I'm just going to go and just click stuff here randomly. If it's something like a a 3 or a 2, put in the comments why you gave it to them so that they can improve. If you don't show them what they did wrong, then they don't know what to improve upon. You might have told them, but put it in writing. All right. I want to show you this so you can see. I'm going to say this is NA, NA. Okay, this is here, this is here. I know I'm just writing something, okay? And here, here, here. You see how it tallies for you what their grade is, okay? So for this ABG, for this first time them doing it, they got an 86.25. You got to remember that number and you got to write it down. You have to write down rows, ABG, what she got on a piece of paper. Because remember those Excel spreadsheets I sent to you all? That's what you're going to transfer to those Excel spreadsheets. So you're going to have a spreadsheet on Rose, a spreadsheet on whoever, Jane, a spreadsheet on Bob, and you're going to make sure you put these specific grades in for that. So for that ABG, she got an 86.25. Was this a retest? No. If you want to say she was an amazing therapist, she did a great job, she showed da-da-da-da, you can write it there if you wish. Now you have two choices. You can either submit it. Once you submit it, the student is able to view it. If you want to save it for later, which we're going to save for later, I'm going to show you, we're going to bring that back up. Always go home, remember? And up here it says urgent tasks completed pending evaluations. You're going to go in here and you're going to click this on. I have a ton of these in here because I show instructors a lot. You find the one that we were just doing and the date, and you can edit it, and you can go back to it and you can look at it and change it or add to it. In the beginning, I suggest you do that, but if you are fine and comfortable with the grade, then submit it, okay? Once you submit it, they will see it. Once you save it for later, it just has something pending, all right? The student on the other end has the ability to go in and look at these like this and either agree or disagree with your grade. I back both of you or all of the students. I mean, all the instructors. I back, you're the experts, you're there. So they'll come to me and they'll complain and I'll probably call you and say, hey, this is what's going on. I'm sending them back for you to talk to them. And that's what I'll do. And then you'll say, well, you got this because of this. Okay. They're always comparing themselves to the other students in the room. I have no idea why, they just do. So then you can submit it. I'm going to save it for later again because what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to suspend that because I don't like that, but I'm going to say why. This was a test. And then I know when you're suspending evaluations because I get an email. Okay, not a big deal. I don't care. So you can go on and on with this with all the different initiate ad hoc, select your evaluation, whatever it is. It should be on here. Kind of keep looking. There's weaning. There's a weekly. That's another thing that you have on your Excel spreadsheets. So you have a competency spreadsheet and you have a weekly spreadsheet. So keep, I don't know, however your system that you want to devise, you can do it on you can put it on what's it, OneDrive. You can put whatever you want if you're sharing it with other instructors. However you guys want to do it, you can share it back and forth. That is fine. But I'll call for it with a text message that I'm going to need it by this date. And you guys have to send me this because I have to transfer all these sheets and tally all your grades, which the Excel spreadsheets already do. And I got to put it in their grades for their course. Okay. So this pretty explanatory, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
No. The other thing I want to show is that here's the time tracking. This is when they have to clock in and clock out, these students. The students also send you something called a case log. It's just everything you've done with them for that day. They're responsible for this. So they have to actually do like something exciting that happened that day, and they have to journal on that. It's only like one sentence things. But the case log looks like, let's see. Say I'm not a student, let's see. Log new case log. it looks something like this, where they have to pick, well, their name would be here, and they would have to find your name, right? And then they would go in here, and they have to fill out all this stuff, and it would actually say, we want an adult patient. We're just picking Hopkins, the course. They do all this, the physician, and then they go next, and they choose all the things and they've done with you today, and they add it to this summary, this case logs. And when they add it all in, they submit it to you, and you just randomly look at it and say, okay, and then you just say approve. So you look at all of it. So you don't want them to pad what the procedures and stuff that they're doing. So the students are responsible for this. They do case logs, they'll do a journal, and they sign out. So they have to sign in, sign out, case logs, and they do a journal. You will receive this in your email, and you'll look at it and just go ahead and open it up and look at it and see it for the first time. It's very self-explanatory. It's very user-friendly. Okay. And then what's the other thing? Let me see. I think that's all for that. I did send you guys the agenda from yesterday, just in case you had any questions. Let me go back and open this up so I can see both of you. Okay. The biggest thing is to have those competencies, all right? But you still can continue to do them without grading them. It's not a race to see who can grade as much stuff as possible. Their S-bars, I know that each group has an S-bar. They have to do it every rotation. If they do not have to do an S-bar with you, they will let you know, because they have to present to our medical director. So they'll let you know. If they do a case study, they can do it on one patient together. All three of them can do it together. There is a template for them to follow for the S-bar, and there's also a guide for them to follow in the course. So they just have to go back into the course on our system, our LMS system, and they just need to follow that. They've been doing it. This is like their third one or fourth one, but that's what I was trying to explain. I send you guys a lot of calculations. I'm not, by no stretch of the means do I want you guys to do all those calculations, but I do want you to have them do like the static, the dynamic, the AA gradient, things of those natures that they're going to actually have on their boards that they're going to have to do. So I know in the summer, some did it, some didn't. It's not teaching them anything. They're not applying the content that they've learned in their previous classes, and they're just going to get really lost when they take their boards, and they're just going to be freaked out. So the more they do it, the easier it'll get, and it'll be in their mind fresh when they take the boards. So I sent you those sheets. If you didn't get them, just let me know and I can resend them. If you have any problems with, basically you guys can text me with anything that you need, and I can refer you to Candace Casale. She is our new administrative assistant, and I know you guys have both talked to her already. Just if you ever email her, if you have problems like, oh, I didn't get this or I didn't get that, let me know, and she will kind of take care of it on the HR end and get you in touch with the correct people if you need to deal with HR, okay? I feel like I got something here. Get them to talk in the ICU rounds, okay? They're very timid, they're very shy. Give them at least one patient each, if not two. You're gonna have to judge on your own how competent you feel they are. And if you think that they can handle it, then you need to give them more. So they're all not going to be at the same level, but make sure that when you do that, they have to be with you at all times. You can't just give it to them and then walk away. So get 3 rooms. That would be ideal altogether, so that you can go in, see what they're doing, and then walk away. If you're doing trach care or anything with the ventilator or taking the patient off or what have you, you have to be by their beds. You have to be there. They're working under your license, so you want to make sure you protect yourselves. And if they're not listening to you on your weekly evaluation form, there's places there for professionalism, or they're not taking constructive criticisms. You just have to read it and put it down. You can't tell me, yes, they're doing terrible, they're very bad, they're da-da-da, and then you give me hundreds for their weekly evaluations. Do you see the correlation there? So if I'm trying to like sit down with them, they're like, but they gave me hundreds. Well, I don't do that. It's hard to critique and to kind of tell students that they're doing something wrong. It's one of the hardest part of being a teacher. But you both are now 2 teachers, so you have to handle it in a very delicate fashion so that they're not insulted. But if you get to the point where you don't know what to do, you call me and I'll come in and we'll do it together. Or if you're having an issue with them, call me, I'll come in and I'll help you guys. I'm here to take care of all that for you. You just have to let me know. Like, Pat, this person is like so disrespectful. You got to let me know. And I'll come in and then we'll pull them in together and we'll talk to them together and I'll help you. But you got to just communicate to me. That's what I know, all the policies and procedures of the program. You don't. So you are responsible for the health and well-being of that patient and the student. I hope you don't have any of these problems, but you know, it's my last famous words and something does happen. But call me, I'll come in. If they're doing something so bad, call me and I might tell you, send them here. Send them away. Okay? Because I don't want them in the site if they're disrespectful, unprofessional. And if they're unprofessional, we're throwing them out of the program. It's just, we're not going to put up with that. If they're dangerous with the patients, we're not going to put up with that. Okay? Let me see. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me? It's not, once you get into it, I think you're gonna be like, this is a piece of cake, piece of cake. I know, Billy, you've done it. You're just coming back with all this technology in, but you've been doing it. And I know, Christina, you've been doing it for years too. You just got to get used to all the paperwork. But
Right.
the students, I think I sent out SBAR due dates. I'm not sure if I did that, but you always use the rubric when grading them. Or get with Rebecca, whoever you're with, Rebecca, and get with Tiffany and they'll help you. If worse comes to worse and you're confused, just let me know and we can talk. Okay, we'll text, we'll talk on the phone, whatever you need. But I really just wanted to meet, just to make sure you have the competencies in your hand. The only other thing that most of the students, they're going to be doing all the events. They've done the Servo U over the summer. They're going to re-look at the Servo I, the Servo U, the Drager, the, what is it? The View 500, and they're doing the Avita. So those are the next ventilators that they're going to be looking at. They're going to start with intubation and extubation the first week. But fortunately or unfortunately, you get them the first Monday, and then Friday we do labs. So they do not intubate or extubate. They can extubate, but they can't intubate. They can be by you and watch you and assist you, but that's about it. Okay. No brachial ABGs, only radial. That's just our contract rules. We have to do radials, not brachials. A-lines, they can assist you, but you have to be there with them. We can't do the A-lines because I know some people have A-lines. That's been the issue. Pat, they only have A-lines. Well, that's fine. They can do an A-line and you can grade them, but it's an ABG. Okay. That's just our policy for our contracts. They don't want to lose their arm rather than lose their hand, not their arm. Any thoughts? Anything, Billy, Christina, anything?
No, I think I'm fine.
I look at your faces and you're both like, oh my God, what have I got myself into?
I had a thought, but I can't remember it because my kids are fighting in the background.
I know, well, I understand that.
What was it? No, I've already texted, me and Tiffany's gonna meet up and go over some of this in real time and
Okay.
Discuss our joint or shared responsibilities.
Well, the only important thing is that you have to chart all the stuff before you leave, just like you do in real life as a therapist. I can't have you back chart, and I don't know how people can watch somebody and then chart 5 weeks later about how they did it. So you've got to chart in real time, like that day. It doesn't have to be right that second. You can do a mental note.
Right.
You know, Evalue won't allow you to backdate.
Do they leave? They leave at 3 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you have some sites, I think, Rebecca, they come to you at 6:30. Isn't that what you guys want them to have them there at 6:30? So they leave at 2:30. So bring them off the floor half an hour before so they can do all your charting. All their charting, you can do your charting, and you'll be walking out
Okay.
either right after them, 5 minutes after them, or what have you. 8 hours is going to fly for you guys. You're going to be like, 8 hours, piece of cake, you know?
Yeah.
Find stuff from other instructors that you can do. Find something exciting for them to see. Don't let them be idle, just hanging around. Introduce them to the directors of the departments, whatever you have to do. Because, I mean, if you like these students, you want them to work with you, this is your opportunity to kind of like seal the deal, so to speak, and get them to work at your hospitals. Okay? And I'm only a phone call away or a text message away. You can always text me. I come out every Monday and Wednesday is the clinicals. I come out once a week or twice a week, and I'm at clinical sites. So I'll let you know. I'll text you and say, hey, I'm coming to see you today. Okay. And so then I say, just get me in the door somehow, you know, and you'll know that I'm coming. So if you have any thoughts or, you know, you think about something when we leave this meeting, just text me. Okay. I'm always here for all of you, and I'm here to support you. I know you know the field. I know you know what you're doing. It's just the paperwork and then dealing with students. Students are a whole different animal. Okay. They can really pluck your nerve sometimes, and some of them are very disrespectful, but I can't have that. I can't have disrespect to you in the unit. They have to be professional, and I will counsel them. But eventually, if they're not learning too quickly, they don't stay with us too long. We won't put up with that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you don't have any questions, I'm good. Thank you for guys coming on the Zoom or the Teams.
No worries.
Thank you for going.
Oh, absolutely. Text me if you have any questions.
I will. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for the follow-up.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend, guys. See you later.
Bye.